So thank you for gathering with us for some extra time this morning to hear some of what God is up to in and through our congregation. This Midyear Congregational Life Update is an opportunity for some of our leaders to share highlights of the year so far, exciting ministry opportunities still to come this year, and ways that you can get involved today and throughout the year. Our work together is rooted in God's Word, so I wanted to offer these words from Hebrews chapter 10 as an introduction to our time together. Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for God who has promised is faithful. And let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds, not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another. And all the more as you see the day of the Lord approaching. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to our president, Lenora.
Me provoke someone? I was trying to provoke everybody as they were filing out of there so fast and tried to trip a few, but I didn't get anybody. Good morning. It's so good to have you back, Pastor. We missed you. Aloha. At the beginning of the year, your council sat down and tried to set up some goals, and we accomplished 3 or 4 of them already. So maybe there's some new goals on the horizon. But thanks to all of the congregation, even those that walked out right away, which I understand. The ministry fair was just a wonderful success. So many people attended, and what's more, so many people felt called to join different ministry teams. And I just think it's fabulous. It makes me happy to serve the world in whatever way we can, and I know it does y'all as well. We hoped also that we could start being more appreciative of the work that does happen here. So many of you do so much, so quietly, and so consistently, and loyally, and I just applaud you for it. It is the way that God calls us to serve. So that has been a joy to appreciate all of these people, including our staff, but our ministry team leaders who show up for the meetings, do all of that stuff. Whether you're delivering Meals on Wheels or crocheting a prayer shawl or making a quilt, I'm so excited those seniors are taking quilts to college with them, and that'll be a source of comfort. Just by way of one of our congregational members, we've started prayer services on Sunday evenings, and it's quite motivating, and I invite you to that. So those are some of our high points. Oh, yes, and we did commit to trying to encourage leaders within the church and leaders within our synod. And I'm so excited that we're going to entertain and help an intern this coming year. That's a wonderful goal that we had, and that we can be of service somehow. I think that's great, and good for you, Pastor, that you were a vehicle for that happening. I don't think the Synod would have sent someone if they didn't think you were doing a good job. So I do hope we can continue these efforts, and I think along with our staff, we can try to keep communicating as often and as well as we can. I know there are times that sometimes too much communication happens, but too much communication isn't a bad thing. Not when you have a memory like mine. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff, who is going to introduce the ministry teams. And y'all put a smile on your face. Thank you.
Well, I'm not going to, am I on? I'm not going to try to follow Lenora here. I'm just going to read my script, because she's much more of an orator than I am. The ministry teams have made a big impact in a short amount of time. They're hardworking, making a difference with God-given talents and teamwork. Now you're going to hear a little bit from each ministry team. The team leader about specific team and ministries. You'll also hear about ways you can plug in and help. And remember, team meetings are open to everyone. So if you'd like to learn more, check the church calendar and attend the meeting to learn more. And now it's, whose turn is it?
Hi, I'm Tom Frederick. I am the council liaison for the worship and music team. The worship and music team is led by Pastor Drew and Matthew, our organist. Our purpose is to ensure that worship opportunities offer meaningful, consistent, and comfortable experiences rooted in word and sacrament for everyone who attends Christ Lutheran Church to connect with God. People should see themselves reflected in the worship service, hear the gospel, be fed at the table, and members should feel there are opportunities to participate in worship according to their abilities and preferences. One major highlight that we'd like to bring forth for what we've done since the beginning of the year is our choir director, Eric Peterson, just completed his first season as our new choir director. Thanks to Eric and to everyone who supports, sings in, or listens to the choir. Still to come in the last half of the year, in the August time frame, we will be introducing a bluegrass-style liturgy. And then, I think it has a mandolin, banjo, accordion, I think, guitar, any kind of instrument you got. And then we will have Reformation, All Saints, and Christ the King Sundays to look forward to. So stay tuned for more meaningful and comfortable worship experiences. One way you can get involved. Look around at the next worship service and see what people are doing. Better still, come a little early for worship and see what people are doing. You'll see all kinds of preparation and doing things that support the worship experience. Like UPS's Every Ing for Small Businesses slogan, we have an ing for you, like assisting ministers, ushering, altar gilding, reading, greeting, leading, sound rooming, audio-visualing, singing, chiming, speaking, and even standing. Pick one of those ings you see people doing and volunteer. Contact Matthew, Carlene, Pastor Drew, or myself, and we will help you get connected with the person coordinating the ing for you. One additional and important way for you to get involved right now, we need a leader for children's music projects and worship events. We would love a partner to keep our children's music worship projects going. If you feel called in this way, please contact Matthew for more information. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Jennifer Pratt, and I am the current ministry team leader for the discipleship team. And just as a reminder, the purpose of the discipleship team is to provide resources for understanding the teachings of Jesus, the Lutheran Christian faith, faith journeys, and for incorporating spiritual discipline in daily life. The areas of ministry that fall into this team include the study groups, our gift classes that we have on Sunday mornings, confirmation, the summer camps, retreats, the CLC library, and the prayer team, which has been recently formed. In the first half of 2025, our team has been excited to see the relationships between our members forming and growing through the intergenerational events and classes which we have coordinated. We've loved seeing the growth and interest in the newly formed prayer team. And in the second half of 2025, we are excited to partner with the Fellowship Committee to host a game night for all ages on July 10th from 6 to 8 p.m., and also to host our second annual gingerbread house building event and cookie decorating. So that was a great event last year, and we're looking forward to doing that again in early December. If you're interested in getting involved with this ministry team, we could really use some facilitators for short 4 to 6 week like book, Bible, film studies, anything you want. You can even pick the topic. Pastor Drew just needs to approve of the topic, but you can pick whatever you want. And then there are lots of resources that exist. We have a lot of stuff in the library. There are other resources we know about. We just need some folks who are willing to help guide a group using existing materials. So that's the big ask we have for you. And I'll pass it off to the next person, which I think is outreach team.
Good morning. I'm here representing both Lila West and myself. We are the co-chairs of the outreach team. Our purpose is to share the love of Christ with our neighbor, the greater Georgetown community, and beyond by developing relationships and partnerships to serve and to connect with others, make a positive difference in the community outside our walls, and impact lives. By sharing God's love, being open and welcoming to all, and extending a helping hand, we truly do God's work with our hands. The highlight of our outreach team is that we have a great number of ministries, over 15 outreach ministries that are led by great people and many volunteers for each one of those ministries. You'll see that we have listed highlights for each one of those, and I'm not going to read them all, or we'd be here for a lot longer than you would like to be. The highlight is that we have been busy serving with partner-led and Christ Lutheran-led ministries. The best way to find out more about those ministries is by going to the website, and under the Serve tab, there is a list of all of the outreach ministries, and also a email that you can send to us through its outreach@glcgtn.org. And it'll come to Lila and myself, and we can connect you with that ministry. So it's just a brief description on the website, but certainly people can give you more information. Some ways to serve or support our ministries include serving in partner-led ministries, joining in CLC-led outreach activities and events, praying and helping when needs arise among our neighbors locally or globally, meeting and serving our CLC neighbors, and donating resources to the outreach ministries. And that would be it for me.
Just real briefly say, like Jean mentioned, the reports that we're sharing, you'll get them in writing either this afternoon or tomorrow morning in an email, and you'll also get a version of this video so you can see it again, but then you can read all of the highlights from all of those 15 ministries that are there. I can, yeah, if you'd like a printed copy, let the office know. We'll get you one.
Good morning. I'm David Oberon. I'm co-team leader of the support team along with Dave Brown. Our purpose is basically we oversee the church grounds, the facility, contracts, and anything dealing with the facility. I guess our highlight of the year so far has been we had another successful work day on March the 15th. We had about 40 people show up and got a lot of things done. Trying to battle the wind with raking leaves and stuff was a little bit of a challenge that morning. Every time they hauled off a bag of leaves, 2 bags came down. So it was quite the challenge. Other thing, I ended up coordinating with Ethan Sorensen, and he, as part of his Eagle project, he painted the parking lot. And so even though that was not necessarily a support team thing, it obviously it helped made the great improvement to the parking lot. As far as what we got to look forward to this year, the Church Council has approached the support team about preparing an emergency preparedness plan for dealing with various types of emergencies, fire, tornado, various types of things. And so we're going to be working on that this year. I think Lenora had sent out an email a week or so ago with regards to folks that could help out in some type of emergency type thing, and we'll be kind of coordinating with Lenora on that. But it'll take a little bit of time. But if you're somebody that has been with emergency services or have expertise in that area, we'd love to have your input. And so if you could come to the meeting, our next meeting, we were scheduled going to be for July 17th. We've changed that to July 24th, but we're probably going to be trying to start working on that plan at that point in time. And so ways to get involved, come to the meetings, help out on like when we have the work days and stuff like that. As I put in here, God's work our hands. The more people that we have, the less time we all have to be here, and we get a lot more done. And then the other thing is then help for the upcoming year, helping out with the emergency plan.
Good morning. I'm John Ziegler. I'm Ronnie Prellop's sidekick. I'm going to simply say my late wife, Peggy, informed me on occasion that everybody has a backstory. Everybody does. And everybody has some scars, and we know that. We on the care team can't do anything to erase the scars, folks. But what we want to do is to be sure that everybody is hugged and cuddled and loved appropriately so that you will feel much better and healthier in your approach to your whole life, and especially that part of it that you share with this congregation, so that we may all move forward together in the love of Christ. We're especially glad for being able to do outreach to our particular kind, to homebound people, and to take them communion and to share with them in that way. An interesting part of that has been that so many who are homebound do join with us on Sunday morning by video. So we do get to share together, even though people are remote from us. We are looking forward to doing more things, and we would be certainly solicitous of everyone who has an interest in making suggestions as to what we may do to put forward the kind of ministry we're trying to do to undergird this congregation and give it the love and support that we all need in order to be doing the work that Christ sets forward for us. Next.
Larry Wendt, and I am the representative of the stewardship team. One good thing about being last is I don't have to I keep it short, because I know we all want to leave. I just want to mention that we do not have a leader of the stewardship committee at this point, but we are working with Pastor Drew to put together the campaign for the pledge cards for next year. We'll have it towards the end of the year here, as we do every year. We are also looking at putting together a time and talent survey sheet so we can show what, and we can encourage people to volunteer to do more things. We're looking also at having another ministry fair next year. And if you would like to be on the stewardship committee, please let me know. Thank you. I think you're next.
I'll have to ask Deb because I don't know where my spot is. Well, thank you all in ministry teams for their hard work and dedication and leadership. God has given us talents, and many of you have offered yours. There's always more to God's work to be done, and help is important for Him to do His work. If you feel called to participate in any of these ministries, please talk to your team leaders to see how you can help. With the support of you all, God's work will continue to make miracles happen.
Thank you, Jeff. Can we just recognize all the ministry teams? That's just amazing. So my name is Brian Derringer, and I'm serving, this is my 3rd year as council treasurer. I've got 1 more year to go, so hopefully we'll keep it on the rails. So at this point, mid-year, we just wanted to give a current status update of where things stand. And by way of refresher, in case you're new or in case you're wondering how this works, we have a lot of different accounts, but we have 3 sort of major accounts that we use to gauge our financial health. And so the first big account is, we call it our general fund. And that's how we pay the bills, keep the lights on, kind of, it's our operating fund. We call it the general fund. Another is our building fund. We call it the building fund. It's really our mortgage payment fund. That's how we pay the mortgage for the big new gym. And then finally, we've got something we call we call it the FAR account. FAR, like F-A-R, Fixed Asset Replacement. And that's for, if you have a big fixed asset that goes down, like, say, a big air conditioner that, like, might be really important for worship in the following week, we want to have ready funds available to kind of get that back online, and we don't have to go out to the membership and say, hey, we need, like, a lot of money in a hurry or we're going to be sweating. So that's the biggest example that we can grab hold of, but it's not really just an air conditioner fund. So those are the 3 biggies. We do have other accounts. Just so you know, I mean, we don't arbitrarily allocate. We allocate according to member giving instructions. So if you do the envelopes are kind of designated to those 3. And other things like the 5th Sunday. We had a 5th Sunday today. There's usually an envelope for 5th Sunday, and you can designate that even if you use Tithely to give. Let's see, but these are the big 3 accounts. So working our way backward, the FAR account right now, the Fixed Asset Replacement Fund, we had to tap it last fall to replace a big air conditioner, one of the big ones in the gym. That balance is currently a little over $30,000, and we'd like to continue to rebuild that up to about $70,000. That's kind of where we'd like to have that, so we'll continue to accumulate there. The building fund, which is the mortgage replacement or mortgage payment fund, it's the balance is right now at about $26,500. We like to have 3 months of reserves, 3 months worth of payments in reserve, and right now we're at 3.7 months. So we're above our kind of level where we'd like to be. So generally, giving to the building fund matches our outlays, you know, over the course of the year, and that's pretty healthy. Okay, so finally, the big general fund, or the operating fund, it's actually relatively high for this time of the year. We're over $121,000, and our year-to-date giving is actually above our budgeted giving for this point year-to-date. So thank you all for your generous contributions. I mean, the caveat there is that, hey, you know, giving is always lumpy, just like expenses are lumpy. Some things come and go. We're about to hit the summertime when people are on vacation, and so giving tends to drop off in the summer. So, but at this point, right now, we're in great shape, and that gives us a lot of confidence. So, in fact, we're about 16% above average for last year, or year-to-date, I should say. Let's see. As we anticipate adding staff, this gives us a lot of comfort that we think we're on the right track. We think the membership thinks we're on the right track. And so we can add that position with confidence, at least that we're prepared for the financial effects of adding staff, right? There's plenty of other effects, like we need to, anyway. So I'm here to talk about financials. We'll talk about that. Anyway, thank you all. Again, we have fantastic support. The biggest financial news I wanted to highlight is that this year we got that mortgage down below $300,000. We're currently at $280,000 left on that mortgage. That was well over $1 million at one point. We expect to be able to retire that mortgage ahead of schedule sometime in mid-2028. So that's coming like a freight train. And if that freight train sounds like maybe a capital campaign of some kind to do some other stuff, that may be the other side of that coin, but that remains to be seen. Okay, so how can you help? Well, I mean, we need to continue to hold up everyone's regular financial support at any level. It all adds up, and it's important to the health of our congregation. And I don't say that, I just want to say this out loud. I don't say that because I think we're ever at risk of sort of running out of resources, right? I know that there's an abundance of resources. I think those resources follow and help us to grow worthwhile ministry. And so what I'm getting at is that the people who are members of our church, they are more healthy and fulfilled when they're engaged in the ministries of this congregation. And I'm pretty sure that you're paying more attention to good things that are happening when you're, contributing and being a part of that at any level. So I just want to celebrate that. Wrapping up, if you're feeling called to get more involved in our financial steward, there are a few ways to do that. The stewardship team is an important part of how we make decisions for how we do things like Fifth Sunday offerings, what ministries we support in the greater community. If you're interested in all that's a great way to get involved. And as Larry's pointed out, we need a designated leader for that. There's people that are participating and wanting to be involved. So that's one way. A huge thanks to the audit team. There are members that are rolling off of that audit team. I think I've mentioned it a few times, but they're here to kind of make sure that we're doing things according to the policies and the protocols that we've established. And I think they have fun. It sounds like a tedious thing, but I think they do great work, and it's really great feedback to council for things that we can clarify and make better. So that's one way you could get involved as those members roll off. And finally, be thinking about our next treasurer. 2026 will be my last year on council. So if you want to know more about what it's like to kind of serve in this capacity, let me know. I'll be happy to talk with you about it. Thank you very much. Let's let Sherry. Yeah, Pastor's going to talk about the intern but the yep. And so let's let Sherry do her part, and thank you.
I'm Sherry Thien, and along with John Schmidt, Gary Morris, Pastor Drew, Carlene, and Sandy, we are the members of the LEAD team. The LEAD journey is a multi-year process. Pastor coerced me, said it would be 3 years. I don't know. The LEAD journey is a multi-year process that several congregations of varying denominations are utilizing around the country. At its core, this journey challenges congregations to understand the needs of its community outside of the congregation and to assess how well our current ministries align with those needs. This starts with listening to God's Word, where we studied the book of Acts to see how the disciples connected with those outside of their fellowship. We then asked ourselves and our congregation, remember the surveys that we asked you, how we perceive we are addressing God's call to actions in our various ministries, and if there are any opportunities for additional focus. All of the feedback and enthusiasm has been terrific and much appreciated. Our current listening is where we've turned our ears toward the members of the outside community. How our community leaders are trying to address the issues of the residents of Georgetown? What are their hopes? What are their challenges? For the first half of this year, we have received feedback so far from the members of the Caring Place, from the principal and some staff members at Tibbet Middle School, from Georgetown Health Foundation, which partners with the Carver Center for Families, and even the post office offered some unique insights into our neighborhood. The LEAD team will soon begin to review all of this data we have received from inside and outside of the church. The intent is to look for emerging themes where we see the most opportunities to either amplify our current ministries or even develop a totally novel initiative. We're always wanting to hear more from you if you have noticed a community need that is not being addressed or have an idea for an improvement of our work that God has called us to do. Please reach out to any one of the LEAD members. Sometimes the most impactful changes stem from the most subtle improvements, so don't let any of your ideas go to waste. Get in contact with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have heard so many wonderful things that God is up to through our ministry as Christ Lutheran Church. Our ministry teams and your involvement in them and through them are already making some of this ministry that we're doing more sustainable and creating space for new projects, new ideas, and new ways of being God's instruments of grace and love, serving our neighbors in need. One of the things that's happened so far this year, and is also something we're looking forward to, was our discernment and decision to host an intern pastor. Talene is a seminary student and candidate for pastor who grew up in Corpus Christi, lives in Dripping Springs, and she will serve among us as intern pastor for 2026. This is a time for her to learn in an apprenticeship setting through action and reflection as she puts into practice what she has learned in seminary and through serving in her home congregation thus far. We will be blessed by her presence, her gifts, and her leadership, and we'll get the opportunity to help raise up a leader for the church. The goal is that she will be ready to go serve as a pastor by the time her internship with us is completed. And so this is a wonderful and exciting thing. We're putting together the lay committee for the intern throughout kind of the summertime here and preparing to welcome and get ready. And so we're looking forward to that. So we've made that decision, and we're excited for the start of that. But we continue to be at this wonderfully exciting time and kind of a crucial time for the life and ministry of our congregation. We have this incredible staff and a lot of momentum, and we don't want to burn out our staff or any of our volunteer leaders. You just heard them share so many wonderful things that they are up to. We'd love to continue to ensure what we're doing is sustainable and to grow our capacity for ministry as we continue to grow our congregation. Adding another full-time staff member is an additional step that can help make this happen. So, time after time in my 2.5 years here, I've heard our desire to build opportunities, especially with children, youth, and families. We want to grow, and we want to grow young. We also know that growth means a deepening faith, that learning and growing in faith happens at church, but it also happens at home, at work, at school, at camp, and on retreat, and we want to connect our faith with our daily lives. So with that in mind, and in prayer, conversation, and discernment with our council, they decided this month while I was away, I sent them a proposal to hire a director of discipleship, a full-time director of discipleship. So this, I just want you for a second to imagine another person whose vocation is building and strengthening relationships with families in our congregation, families in our learning center, with families in our neighborhood. Someone who plans a retreat opportunity for the whole congregation, maybe at Camp Chrysalis or a trip to Holden Village, a workshop on sacred storytelling that helps you articulate your faith and pass it along. Maybe it's a pilgrimage to sites of the Reformation or a walk along the Camino de Santiago. Imagine more members of our congregation confident in their capacity to ask and explore questions of faith with their family, with their neighbors. When we have a focus for a season, somebody who's helping make sure we have ample resources and opportunities to connect and build a through line. Each member of our congregation equipped to be the best neighbor to everyone they encounter. The hope is for another gifted leader helping us become a community of disciples growing in faith where every member is a minister, every neighbor is beloved, and everyone has a place. And in addition to Brian's good news about sort of our financial health and readiness for this, I have even more good news about the resources we need to make this a reality. Last fall, some generous members of our congregation took time to listen to our budget presentations and to meet with leaders from the congregation. And when they came back with this, all of this because they wanted to make a gift that would make an impact and help increase and grow our ministry as a congregation. They wanted to make a significant contribution. And what they wanted to do was make a large gift that would make a big impact on our ability to live out the gospel. What they heard and saw we might need the most is another gifted staff member to help activate our congregation, to inspire and equip all of our members to be ministers. And thanks to these generous and wonderful folks, we have the financial resources available, ready, on hand, to pay for this position for a full year, and time to grow our budget in order to sustain that position. This is another wonderful year to be God's church here at Christ Lutheran Church. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm excited to share more with you, including the job description that you can help share and spread and get the word out as we get people and seek that new staff member. And I give thanks for all of our leaders and for each and every one of you and the ways that you make the love of Jesus real and tangible for one another, for the people of Central Texas, and for the whole world that God so loves. Thank you. Yeah. Hand it back to Lenora one more time.
Okay, well, new goals on the horizon. We're celebrating all we've done. There's more we can do. And we're not finished yet with 2025. Some of the ideas are, as Pastor just talked about, reviewing our staffing needs and expand where needed and where fiscally responsible and fiscally feasible. Try to say that 3 times real fast, and things are really looking positive about that. A lot of prayers, many of yours, I'm sure, have been about this issue specifically. The other one David Oberender mentioned is formulating a emergency preparedness and safety plan. So if we do have somebody with a heart attack or something happens right here, or something happens from the outside coming in, whatever might happen, we are prepared for it. And the best time to figure those things out is not right while they're happening. So I do hope that y'all will support, and I did receive so many responses to my request for those that are capable of helping. Doctors, nurses, EMTs, people that have been trained in certain things. So praise the Lord for this congregation and all the many talents everybody has. The third thing is opening up our welcome center. I think we're a very welcoming congregation, but we need a kind of a method to really make sure we're responding to those people that walk in the door. So any of you that are sitting right there right now, I've been watching y'all, but I want to hear from you. If you feel like you're one of those that's willing to put your hand out, shake someone's hand, introduce yourself, let them introduce you to themselves, and then maybe take them to the Welcome Center and we can share a little bit. I really would love to hear from you. I'll be sending another one of my emails out requesting that. And look deep into yourself. You may not think you're the one that should be doing that, but I know there are a bunch of you out here that could make a difference with a person that walks in the door kind of nervous about coming into a new church or a new group of people, that you could make them feel really welcome. And so I hope you'll think about that. We'll certainly have lots of opportunities in training our leaders within the Synod when our intern comes, and Pastor will welcome your support as he puts together kind of an internship committee. The last goal, I really want to add even more joy and fun into this congregation. Y'all are a lot of fun people and a lot of positive people, and I think that we can do even more. So that Sunday is a day you wake up and you go, I'm going to go worship with you, Lord. I get emotional about this. But I'm also going to see my family. This is my church family. And that is a joy I have every Sunday morning. So let's think about that. Please let me know if you've got an idea. I had a few crazy ideas, like everybody wearing Hawaiian shirts the day that he was back. But well, at least your partner right there beside you did. Some people did. I just didn't do it. I thought, they already think I'm crazy. And then I thought about next Sunday being red, white, and blue jean day, and we would all be very excited that 4th of July had just passed by. So if you want to wear red, white, and blue next Sunday, do it. But let's do fun stuff. Cheers for the fellowship team for game night. I challenge all of you to a game, whatever that, where you throw the bean bags in the hole. I'll challenge you. Okay, last, most importantly, Let's keep doing what we're doing. And I was very moved by part of the communion liturgy that we got to sing, and where it says, people needing, Spirit leading, Spirit sending us to serve the world. In this church, we're being asked to serve the world, and we are doing it. Praise the Lord. But let's find new ways we can do it. Dig deep inside yourself. Find out those gifts that God has given to you that He wants you to be using. And thank you so much for putting up with me. That's all.
Amen. Let me send us out with a prayer. Please pray with me. Holy One, teach us what it is to provoke one another to love. Help us to recognize and develop the skills and gifts you have given us by your Spirit, so that we may work together for the common good. As we gather together in your name, inspire us with your love. Equip us to encourage one another as we become a people rooted in grace, where every member is a minister and every neighbor is beloved. Amen. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.